Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather.
And I think I'm still Jeff.
Last time I checked. Today we're going to talk about Bring On the Bling. We're going to talk about blinging out your deck.
Yeah, let's go.
Jeff, this is a topic near and dear to his heart.
Love it.
Yep. So I am not as much of a blinger, but I definitely do bling from time to time. And then, of course, Aggro Jeff. So, Aggro Jeff, what's aggravating you?
I'm speaking of bling.
Yeah.
So I bought an Ancient Tomb for my Aloy deck, which is like the one from Edge of Eternities.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's
really
like a
cool
planet with like this worm thing coming through it. And it was like 115 or something. And then I was showing Duncan I bought it. And then I was like, I scrolled down. I was like, it's $85. Like a couple weeks later. And after $85, it's like 110, but someone just has it on there for $85. So then I had to buy it for. How do you not buy it for $30
Otherwise,
less?
somebody would have had your Ancient Tomb.
Right, and then I'll have it for my Star Trek deck, which you know that's going to be sci-fi too. So I'm going to need an Ancient Tomb for that because you can't have too many of those. But that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much money we're spending on this cardboard crack. Like, it is nutty, and I don't even feel like I spend that much. I mean, but that is because I'm friends with Duncan. So
by comparison, you're always saying.
Yeah. But like I was telling someone yesterday at a Father's Day event we went to, and they were like, "What the crap? You have how much in that box?" And I was like, "About $12,000." And he's like, "No way!" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done with my life?"
And we're going to talk about how to do it more expensively.
Yes.
Yep.
But to be clear on that, bling, which we'll talk about in a second, does not have to mean you foil it.
No.
At least in my opinion.
And it doesn't always have to be significantly more expensive.
No.
Sometimes with today's printings, like a foil version of something is sometimes less than the regular version.
That is true, but the old stuff, the foils are crazy
because
expensive.
they were much more rare.
Yeah. Oh, they're crazy. Yep. So on those, you might just go, nope, I'm not going to do that.
So blinging out your deck, what counts as bling, right?
Oh, man, it's so subjective.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a partial list, but foils, secret layer versions, showcase frames, serialized cards, signed cards, artist proofs, alters, foreign language cards, misprints, or beta or alpha are really
I mean, honestly,
versions.
Some of those make your deck illegal, but I still think they count.
Which one?
Well, artist
proofs are technically not
misprints, because some of the
misprints are legal.
Some of them where it's half the card and half the card, I don't think they'd let you do that.
Yeah, but I don't think people are playing that.
Signed cards, there was a time where people considered those damaged, and I don't think you're allowed to use damaged cards in tournament. So I don't know what the rules are on that currently, but there can be issues on that. And then even some of the, or isn't there a thing with some of the foils because they curve? In some of the tournaments, if your cards are curved,
if they're
you'll
curved,
get in trouble.
Yeah, because then you can pick them out of the deck easier.
So foils could also make your deck illegal.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But that's just some of it. There's more. You know, you can find ways to bling.
Yeah.
There's another way to bling, too.
Specific types of cards?
You could use certain sleeves that can bling out your deck, too. Like altar sleeves, they call them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have, are those the ones where you paint on the sleeve?
You could. Yep. But some come pre-printed with like a certain print.
Oh,
like
do they really? On
yeah,
the front?
there's
on the
one.
Clear part?
There's one I've seen that has like a cat in the bottom right-hand corner.
Interesting.
So like people with a cat deck may get those and put them all.
Okay.
So let's talk about the categories of bling. So one category would be the flex decks. This is the one where you put you're flexing. You're putting the ones that like are hard to find.
Sure.
Serialized cards, judge promos, and beta dual lands.
Yeah, that is a flex.
Yeah, you're like...
It's a weird flex. I might be like, weird flex, bro.
Yeah. So that's the one. The flex deck's like you are it's a brag deck, right? You're picking the best of the best.
Yes.
Whatever you can get. Then there's theme decks.
You'd be better off showing people your portfolio, though.
Yeah. The theme deck, where everything matches. That's kind of like your Aloy.
Yep.
You chose a galaxy theme, a space theme, a sci-fi theme.
But even like cats, you can have a cats deck or a dragon deck.
So like there's certain versions of cards, you may have multiple versions, and maybe one of those might have a cat in it and the others don't. Well, that's the one that would go in your cat deck.
Exactly. You got the cat lands or the dragon lands that you paid extra for.
Yep. They could have this. You could also have where you have only one artist in a deck.
I haven't seen that, but that would be cool.
Yep. Only one frame. They have the older,
Oh my gosh.
retro frame or the new frame. Or
Sure, white border, black border. Well, some of it's sort of easier to get.
Borderless.
Gold bordered, even though it's not legal. Again, that's a cool flex.
Yeah.
But how about if you did? What are the inventions? The gold. Could you imagine a whole deck of that?
That would be expensive.
I don't know if you could do a whole deck of that, but you could probably get close.
I don't think you could. Well, there's no lands.
Right. So, gold bordered would look good with that, though.
Yeah, the raceway lands. What do they call those?
No, those are the piss lands.
Oh, you're talking. Yeah.
I'm talking about the actual gold border that aren't legal.
The ones
but
from the
look
tournament
good in
decks.
that.
Yeah. So then there's like a story deck. Cards you collected over the years, and these are like, I got all these when, from the 90s when I started playing or something like that.
Okay. Nostalgia deck.
Nostalgia deck. You're trying to get the cards that you played with when you started.
That would probably fit like the people who are white border, black border type people.
Yep, that's true too. Also, some people have signed cards. All the people they've met, maybe not necessarily the artist. Maybe they had a run-in with Josh Lee Kwai at a convention. They got him to sign their Soul Ring.
Yeah,
or their Command Tower.
Yeah, or what would be even better is have them sign like Rhystic Study, or what's the one that lets you play things at flash speed?
Oh, Vidalcan Ori.
Vidalcan. That's the one you want them to sign. Yeah.
And then there's kind of just chaos ones where it's like maybe they're all Japanese cards and you can't read them in English.
Remember when I tried to do that?
Yeah,
that was a nightmare.
No, you should at least be able to read the language if you're going to do that.
Yeah, I did the whole Japanese deck, and that was bad.
Japanese or German or whatever language, or a whole deck full of misprints, or a whole deck full of just random versions of cards. So here's a good question though. What do you do when you bling a deck? What do you look at? So like when you started thinking about blinging Aloy, how'd that thought come about?
So for me, it was very simple. What I realized is when I'm playing Magic, most of the time I'm looking at my own cards. So I'm looking at the cards in my hand all the time. I'm looking at the cards on my thing. I'm looking at my own cards. I'm not looking at other people's cards. So I was like, I want to look at cool cards.
Maybe if you looked at other people's, you wouldn't make as many mistakes.
Just set that one up, didn't I? Yeah, fair. But no, I look at my cards all the time. So I was like, I realized that the joy of the game for me is mostly looking at the cards. So I wanted really cool art. I wanted to have it be what I liked. And so I went with a space theme. One, because of Aloy's artifacts, so you need to limit yourself, because artifacts are too powerful. And then two, I like space and I like sci-fi, so I went with that. And I enjoy looking at all the cards. And when I get certain cards, I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. I'm glad I have that. But it's really not so much like I will show other people, but it's really not for them. It's for me.
And is a deck blinged because it's expensive, or because it's personalized, or both? So
for me, it was that the cards are the highest version that I like of it. Meaning, it doesn't have to be the most expensive version. It's just the version I like. And then a lot of it is foil, but it doesn't all have to be foil, because some of the cards, like the foil, non-foil is like $60. The foil version is like $600.
Right.
It's like that's not worth it to me. It's just not worth it to me. I want the cool art. So I don't have it all foiled. It's probably 90% foil though. So I just want to look. Yeah. I want the cards to look good.
And like, I have a couple decks that are blinged out. None of them 100%. But like with my Jenga Taxis deck, I have some artist proofs in there.
Oh yeah.
I've got some foils.
You have some very cool cards.
But for me, it's like I'm not necessarily gonna upgrade everything to foil. Sometimes I don't like the look of the foil. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do.
It's
Sometimes
too shiny,
there's
hard to read.
Specific foil versions, like around the Future Sight block. The way that they foiled the blue, it was almost like a lighter blue.
Yes.
And I love the look of those. Like they're almost a teal.
Well, like I
foil.
like the Galaxy foil.
Yep.
Because it doesn't put shiny everywhere. It's just like pops out in places, and I think that's really nice.
Yeah. Yep. I like when they do that. I also have my Norin the Wary deck that's kind of blinged out.
Okay.
A little bit. So,
well, you
it's
need a
very
place to
personal.
put all your expensive cards you get.
Yeah. They're in my decks.
Yeah, I know, but if you have certain decks you put all your expensive cards in, you would just end up with a bling deck.
Yeah. And
right?
that's kind of how that's gone.
Yeah.
It's like I want the best cards in those.
In those decks you play the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I accidentally ended up with a dinosaur deck that's a bling deck, and I'm about to, after Star Trek, I'll be blinging that out because I didn't know all the dinosaurs from Ixalan are worth a lot of money. The special edition dinosaurs are actually expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm already like 75% there. Now I just need to do the lands and the other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very true.
So sometimes you accidentally get there.
And so here's an interesting thing that I thought of when I was putting this episode together. Secret layers
Yeah.
are bling in and of themselves.
Correct.
But some people also buy them because they're game pieces. It's like, well, that's cheaper than buying the reprint.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think originally I did that. Like
Yeah.
I remember the first secret layer I bought was for that.
Yeah. But they are almost every secret layer card you're going to buy is a bling version of that card.
But like some of them, like I wouldn't count them
Yeah.
as bling because I look at the art and I'm like, what is? Like I don't want a Garfield card. That doesn't make my deck feel more special. If I'm doing a meme deck, maybe, but that's a ridiculous card. Like I'm not putting that in a Aloy
Right.
or in a dinosaur deck, like a cat that likes lasagna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So most people when they start blinging, they're going to pick their favorite deck. You more chose a deck because it was starting to go that way naturally, right? Because you started with Aloy because the Galaxy cards were already kind of blingy.
Yeah. The Edge of Eternity cards looked awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, look at all these cool lands in the stellar sites or whatever they're called. I was like, I need all these. What deck can I put these in? And then I was like, okay, well, I liked Aloy, and I was like, she looks awesome. So let me just make a deck around her. And it's green-blue, so it kind of balances it a little more because you could pick better. Blue is obviously the color for artifacts, but green really isn't.
No, it's not.
So
Green is not known for its artifacts.
yeah.
And so the next question is, if you're not gonna bling your whole deck, what cards would you bling? Right? So
Your commander.
Your commander. I think it's the bombs, right? The stuff that's gonna have the biggest impact when it comes out already. The thing people are gonna pay the most attention to.
If it's gonna stick.
Cyclonic Rift, the game changers, kind of.
Yeah. See, I would disagree with you on Cyclonic Rift and
Really?
Sword to Plowshares.
Because they don't stay out.
They don't stay out. They go right in your graveyard.
I mean,
get
that's
covered
one
up
way
by
to
other
look at it.
cards.
Yep.
Lands are really cool to bling out because you're always going to look at them, and there's some really cool looking lands.
And there are many people that that's how they start. They're like, I'm going to bling out all my lands.
Yep. And then cards that stick. So Ristic Study could be one that's really good, but people target that a lot.
Yep.
So it's not going to stay there very long probably. But if it's going to stay, I'd say do it. And your commander's easy because it's in your command zone. So even when it's not on the battlefield, it's still on the battlefield.
Yep. Command Tower, Soul Ring.
Yep. Absolutely.
Arcane Signet. Those are ones that
absolutely.
They're going to be there. They're kind of a big part of the game.
Yep.
Bling those first.
Yep.
And if you're going to start, most people will be like, what, I just want the lands bling. That's all. I'm going to do the lands.
Yep.
And then they do the lands, and they're like, well, what really look cool
Why
is
not?
the Soul Ring.
Right.
I look at that Soul Ring. I'm going to get that Soul Ring.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of keeps growing and growing.
And you don't have to go crazy. Like originally when I did it, so I had my deck that was red-white. It wasn't red-white. Yeah, it was red-white artifacts.
Oh, Osgir.
Osgir, yeah. So I had that. Well, I had some of the artifacts in there that were blinged out just because they were like secret layers. So I stole from that deck and then just bought the regular version and put the regular version in there, took the bling version and put it in Aloy, right? So I did some of that too. And some of the cards that I put in Aloy originally, I bought the cheaper version because I can't afford it right now. So let me put the deck together. And then over time, you don't have to do it all at once. I think some people think like if I want to bling a deck, I have to buy all the most expensive versions of it right now. You don't have to. You'll eventually get other decks. Just buy what you can afford.
Yeah.
Start making slow progress towards it. It's fun.
Yep.
You'll do it over many, many years.
And a lot of times people start just with their commander.
Yes.
Right? They're like, I love this deck. This is my favorite commander. I'm going to get my commander,
Yeah.
the coolest version of it.
Yeah.
Lear, Disciple of the Drowned is another one that I started blinging out. And that was the first thing I did because there was one of those full art textless cards.
Okay.
You know, the ones, it's a legal card, but there's no text on the
That's
card.
right. So it's like a Japanese card.
Yeah. You got to know what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I know what Lear does inside and out. But so that was one.
Famous last words, man.
Spells can't be countered, and instants and sorceries in your graveyard have flashback. Flashback cost is equal to the casting cost.
Okay. I mean, I believe you,
Yep.
I think. But
Yeah.
when you mess it up once and then 5 turns later you figure out you said a word wrong.
I mean, I haven't done that, but I guess it could happen.
Yeah. Well, it might not happen to you.
Jin-Gataxias-
It can happen to others.
So Jin-Gataxias was when I used to have the Phyrexian version,
Yeah.
and I know him inside and out.
Yeah.
But I would forget to mention things like he has flash, because it's not relevant most of the time.
Right.
Because how often do I have 10 mana that I'm just holding up just for no reason?
Right.
You know, but... and then a time came when it was relevant, and they're like, well, you didn't say flash.
Honestly, that's so cool, though, to flash it in right before someone's end step, and they just got to get rid of their whole hand.
So I meant to tell you this earlier, but I'll share it with the group. So Tales from the Table real quick.
Yeah.
So Mike, our buddy who we play with here at work and then also at the shop, he wins out of nowhere a lot, right?
Yes.
Like he'll come from the back of the pack and all of a sudden rush away with the win.
Yeah.
Well, he was doing that on Saturday. And him and I were the only one with any sort of board state. But my deck I was playing was not one where I need a big board state, but he was playing the counterintelligence deck from Edge of Eternities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one where it puts counters
Yep.
on. And then there's cards that say things like at your end step, if you have 30 counters among all your permanents, then you win the game.
Right.
And he's getting close to that number. That card's not on the battlefield, but I'm worried about it. So I left my mana open, passed my turn. I didn't do anything. Somebody else went, then it was his turn. I let him take his entire turn.
Yeah.
All of it. He's dropping stuff. But I was ready at a moment's notice to do what I was going to do. As he moves to his end step, I said, end step before cleanup. Can you guess what I did?
I'm guessing you got rid of that card.
Cyclonic Rift.
Oh,
Overloaded.
Yes, that's
Because
so
he
painful.
had like
So he just put it all
15
out.
permanents out,
Oh.
non-land permanents out at least.
That's tough.
So he's just like, I hate you so much. But
Dude, Cyclonic Rift is still so good.
it is so good.
Yeah.
But that's like the meanest way you can use it too.
I know, but that's the right way to use it.
Yeah. But yeah, so just a quick Tales from the Table.
Yeah.
But yeah, blinging is very personal.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may never want to bling. I didn't think I ever would, and then once I really became attached to decks, when I would see a card version that I know is in that deck, it's like, oh, that'd be so cool in there. So then you start doing it,
Yeah.
And like I said, some of the time you can get blinged cards that aren't very expensive.
Oh, Aloy has a ton of cards in it that are bling that aren't very expensive. But I do like I still am a theme guy. So even within the bling, I like a theme.
Yeah, you're very strict in that one.
Yep.
You're like, it has to be a sci-fi or fantasy theme. I know you've shown me some. It's like
It's a stretch.
it's a stretch.
Yeah.
But this is a more.
But I picked the art that looked most like science fiction.
Yeah. But I know that there's also been times that you've been like, this card would be strictly better in here, but there's no sci-fi version of it.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like artifact lands.
yeah.
It doesn't have any artifact lands. I have an artifact deck without artifact lands.
Yeah, because the artifact lands that exist, they look like old, broken down relics, not like brand new sci-fi.
Yeah, they're not cool like the Edge of Eternity lands. And even I play a lot of basic lands in there because I have all the Edge of Eternity Galaxy Foil. What are they called? Galaxy Foil, I think.
Yep.
And those look awesome. So I want to see them. So I have a lot in there.
Yep. One of the bigger flexes I've seen, if you remember Phyrexia All Will Be One.
Yeah.
And they had the one bundle, and it came with those blacked out lands. With
Those were cool. Yeah.
I saw somebody that had a whole deck of those. Those are not cheap per land.
That's so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole deck with that.
Some of those, like the Edge of Eternities are the ones I have, but the best basic lands I found are actually from Unfinity.
Yeah.
Those Galaxy ones, but those are like $10 a land.
Yeah.
I'm like $10 a land.
Yeah.
Good grief! But eventually, those will be in.
So there was another unset. I can't remember which one, but anyway, it came out about 5 years ago. And when it came out, nobody really buys the unsets.
Right.
Infinity was one where they made cards that could be played in regular format.
Right, but no one plays them. But
Still,
yes,
but that gave a reason for people to buy them.
Yeah.
Some of them are played. You know,
Not
there are
very
some.
much.
Space Veteran, it's really annoying, but some people do play it.
Is that the dog?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's the Jace.
Okay.
That divides the board up into quadrants.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's like day and night.
Yeah.
When that mechanic. But when that came out, the full art lands were just absolutely gorgeous.
They were the first really, really cool looking lands.
I think so too. I
Yeah.
think they were the best lands they had done up to that point. And the foil islands were going for like $50 a pop and up. And I think even now they're up there.
They're expensive, but they're not at 50.
But they were also very rare. That was back before
Right, and
they
now
foiled
they have
everything.
new cool lands every set.
Yeah. But I remember being in line, I was like, I'm going to buy one more pack.
Yeah.
And they had just a handful of packs left. And I think they had 3 packs left. And the guy in front of me bought 2 packs. So there was one left still for me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in line. I'll get it.
Yeah.
And he opened up, and one of them was a foil island.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he goes, yeah, I don't really play Magic, but I'll give it to my brother. He'll like it. And I'm thinking, that's what I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Well, you should have offered to buy it.
I mean, I didn't want to spend $50 for it.
You didn't have to.
He would have asked for $50. He knew
what it was worth?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
He was playing in the shop. He played Pokemon. So
Okay.
but he knew what things were worth.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to pay the $5 for the pack and get the $50 card.
Yeah.
But anyway, any final maybe words of advice for somebody looking to bling out their deck?
Yeah, I think you gave me good advice. Like, I had bought the Metalworker card, which is a pretty expensive reserve list card, and I was going to get it graded. And you said, well, it looks sci-fi, Metalworker, and what's the point of having the card if you don't play with the card? So I put it in the deck, and I took out my proxy, and I'm kind of excited because every time I see it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if that deck gets ruined or someone drops something on that card,
Taps on
it's
it.
going to be very sad for me. I mean, I still don't take that level to playing my like 9.5 Gaia's Cradle, but I am playing the Metalworker, which was cool. So
yeah, I'll know that you've had a stroke or something if you ever like break open your 9.5.
yeah, no.
I'll be like, okay, what
I
have you
might
done
sell
with
it
Jeff?
because it's worth a lot now with the pre-modern out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say take your time. You don't have to do it all overnight. Take your time, buy the stuff you like, and then take the that stuff and just know you'll use when you take out the older card that's not as cool, you'll eventually use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing I would tell you is it's your bling.
Yep.
If you buy it because you like it and that's your bling,
Yep.
don't let somebody tell you you're doing your bling wrong.
No, if they're
Like there are some people
there's
that
a
like,
cooler version of that.
Yeah.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a cooler version of you too.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't let people tell you, no, you got to foil everything if you want to bling out your deck. You don't. You could just get a special version of it.
Yeah, I have a lot of that in there where I just like the simulacrum synthesizer. The coolest art I think is like $60 or $80 or something, but the foiled version of that was like way more expensive than that. I was like, I have a limit. I have a budget. Also, have a budget. That's my advice. If you're going to start blinging out decks and doing this stuff and you don't have a budget for your family and you don't have goals for your life that you want to accomplish and money to do that, stop right now. Go do a budget first before you start buying cardboard, please.
Because otherwise you go to look for that one card you're trying to get.
Yeah.
And then you go down a rabbit hole and you're like, well, this would look really cool in there too.
That's right.
And look at this one over here.
Yeah, and when you see that, like today, I bought a $95 card just because I wanted to. When you have a budget and you've built up where you've been responsible, you can do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that.
It's a
please.
lot easier to buy that extra card when you have a budget. Actually,
it doesn't
people
hurt
think
at all.
People think it's less like no, I have a budget now. I can't. You can make an exception when you have a budget because you have a budget because you're planning ahead.
Well, it's not an exception. I know it's in the budget. I know how much room I
Right,
have.
but also
You either have it or you don't.
you could also be like, you know what, this card's available now.
Yeah.
I have, in a week the new budget rolls over. It's a new month. I'll use my money from that week.
I would not do that.
It's not going to affect any. If it's not going to affect any of your bills,
I would not do that.
I
would not do that.
I feel like you kind of have.
No.
No, never.
Think how many things I say I'm going to buy, then don't buy.
Yeah, but how many times have you not said you were going to buy something and bought it?
Oh, well, that's true. But if the budget's there, I feel okay. I kind of okay about it. I mean, I still am like, oh, that's a lot of money to spend on a piece of cardboard. I never, when I'm buying it, feel super great about it. But yeah, the discipline of really sticking to your budget is super important.
Okay. Well,
So some people can take
I'm just
risks.
saying, I feel like there was a time where you were like, you know what, I didn't have this budgeted
Yes,
for this
there
month.
have been times I have broke my budget, but it's still a good idea not to do it.
Right. No,
And
that's
try
that's
not
what I'm
to do it
saying.
as much as
but
possible.
it's a better idea than somebody who doesn't have a budget and was like, I'm only going to buy one card.
Yes, correct.
And then goes and buys
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
If you have a budget, you're responsible. You're being more responsible.
You could take it. Duncan's point is you could take it out of your next month's budget.
Yeah.
Just don't keep doing that.
Right.
Because now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, and you can't be like 12 months behind on your budget.
Yeah.
Then you'd have no budget.
I got a budget. I don't ever follow it, but I got one.
Yeah.
I see where I'm making mistakes and not being disciplined. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's all the time we have for this episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Yep. No, I like it. I think it was a fun subject, and I think it's something doesn't get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Tim, our editor.
Yep. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. You have made this so much easier for me, and I really appreciate some of the. I think he's upgraded our look a little and put some really cool things in.
Which we could help him with better lights.
Yes, that is something that's on our list. You can find us at youtube.com/@CommandersPod. And if you're already subscribed, you can always share that with somebody else, any of these. Email us, cast@CommandersPod.com if you have any questions, comments, concerns, stories, decks you want us to talk about, things like that. You can go to our website, CommandersPod.com, patreon.com/CommandersPod if you want to support us. Podcast sites like Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube Music, etc. You can find us on all those, and don't forget, Spotify now has video, so that's 2 places you can see our video.
Let's go.
And as always, play bold, swing wide. Don't forget to pay the one.